The goal of this team was to win the championship,
Yeah.
but there was a lot of factors into why that didn't happen. But there was a lot of guys on this team that made a lot of improvements throughout the year, even after the All-Star break. You can just talk about some of the guys that you really thought just made a lot of improvements as the season went on.
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, goal number one is to win a championship, but that's facilitated on the basis of helping guys improve, because that's really what they're here for, is to improve and to highlight their skills to the next level. And if you as a manager can on that journey help a team win a championship, that's the ultimate goal. But the biggest satisfaction for these teams and the fan base even, besides the championship, which everyone gets excited about, is to one day have the kid get drafted, like we had Jackie Healy last year, which was awesome for everyone involved, and then hopefully work their way up. And guys this year, we have guys that will definitely get drafted and work their way up. So that's really what the main focus is someday being able to walk in the stadium and see the pictures of the guys that made it to the big leagues. So that's really the biggest desire of the coaching staff, biggest desire of the fan base should be really to be a part of these guys, see them at this developmental stage where someday they might end up being in the big leagues. And along those lines, we had guys, for instance, like Ryan Thompson, who came out of University of Connecticut, missed his entire freshman year, sophomore year didn't pitch that much. 6-7 innings, was stuck behind a lot of really talented pitchers on the UConn team that was top 25 in the country for the majority of the year, if not all the year, and came in here, a little green, just having not pitched that much in the last 2 years, and every outing gained confidence to the point where in the second half, nearly unhittable. Had a terrific second half, and he looks like a pitcher that will go back. He's transferring to Franklin Pierce, but will go back to college next year, and guarantee will be a dominant pitcher and is a future prospect. Guys like that came in under the radar versus on the other end, even guys like Kevin Smith, who came in as where a lot of people were looking at him as a prospect already, had not really caught behind the plate that much as a college player, DH'd a lot because they had a pretty good prospect at Pitt. He got drafted in the top 10 rounds and really got his opportunity to catch 25, 30, 35 games for us this summer and highlight to scouts that he's very, very good blocking, he's very good receiving, and he can really catch and throw. So to put that into his game and develop him that way really, is adding another dimension to his game and to what the scouts can look for in the future.
Now, the league changed from last year to this year to there's more teams involved. And next year, I was talking to the commissioner. He said that he's going to try to get it so there's 2 divisions again. Is that something you prefer? I think the 3-division thing there was a lot of teams, a lot of travel this year. But which one would you prefer?
Well, you know what? The divisions and that really, they don't matter to me as much as really the travel concerns in terms of I think the first thing that would be beneficial to the league is having an even number of teams. That way everyone's playing every night, and that allows you to really allow teams to have 3 or 4 game series. That way when we go to Slippery Rock, Slippery Rock is a local game for us, but when we go to Chillicothe or Richmond, for instance, even though it's a trip and it's 4, 5, 6, 7 hours to get there, it gives us a few days to stay in a hotel and collect your bearings until you have to move on to the next city. That's really the biggest obstacle to the league right now in terms of giving these guys a professional feel, is that they get the professional part of it in terms of how many games they play in a given period. However, it's much more difficult even than professional baseball, because in professional baseball you always play series. You never play one game and done and move on. And that allows people to get some sleep and in a comfortable bed and let their body catch up, and that way that helps them perform on the field. And because this league is a showcase league, it's a developmental league, it's really important to take care of the assets, which are the players, and to allow them to get that sleep. So to answer your question, really the division format isn't as big a deal. It helps out with things like the playoffs and the All-Star game in order to have a 2-division format rather than a 3-division format. But the really big thing that needs to happen is for there to be an even number of teams, and then that'd be much easier to go to 2 divisions, and that would help out with everything. As long as there's an even number of teams, they won't have to have one team sitting out every day, and because of one team sitting out every day, it causes a lot of scheduling conflicts.
What are your off-season plans? Are you I know you work for in the Frontier League. Just talk about what do you got to do to recruit coming up for the next year.
Yeah, right now, I also work for the Traverse City Beach Bums in the Frontier League of baseball operations. It's just a fancy way of saying that I help recruit, sign the players. So my job from here is my transition. I got to kind of get myself settled back to Indianapolis, and then as soon as I can, get back to Traverse City. There's about 3 weeks left in the Beach Bum season. Hopefully, help them get to the playoffs. Make a couple moves here at the transaction deadline. Made a trade today, add another bat. So I always kind of got that thing going on. Got the Beach Bums season ending September 5th. Playoffs hopefully after that, and then back to Indianapolis is where I live. And I give lessons all off season at the Indiana Baseball Academy, and also going to be working a little more full-time this year on an operations standpoint for them, helping them develop their curriculum from camps and clinics, from fall ball to we do college prep clinics and bring college coaches in and help kids in the recruiting process and stuff like that. So continue to work for the Beach Bums next year, and if I had my way, I just come back to Butler every summer because I love it here. The fans are great. The park is great. I love this level of baseball. There's no politics of pro ball, and you don't have to deal with all the academic issues of college. It's really the perfect microcosm for me in terms of pure coaching experience. You get to help develop guys. You don't have to worry about anything that happens off the field. You don't have to worry about any money issues financially, signing bonus, who needs to play, who doesn't need to play, moving guys up, moving guys down. It's really pure baseball, and the fans love it for that, and the coaches love it for that, and the players love to be here and get better. So if I could do it every year, I could. I would. I mean, we'll just have to see what happens.